Hey campers, I'm going to talk today about some winter hiking tips. Everyone has all their own little tips and tricks that they like to use when they're going to head out into the cold temperatures. I'm going to go over 7 of my favorite things that I try to keep in mind if I'm going to be heading out for the day, no matter how cold it is, and hopefully some of them will be a little bit helpful for you. Merino wool. I cannot say enough about merino wool. I'm a freak show for merino wool. I have a merino wool soapbox, and I'm going to try not to get on it too much in this video. It's antibacterial because it contains lanolin. It doesn't absorb as much water as other fabrics because of that, and it insulates also when it stays wet. I just absolutely love the stuff. Now with merino wool, you're going to want to make sure that you, with whatever fabrics you have, but you want to make sure that you layer up. You hear this all the time, layer up because you stay warmer. One thing that's nice if you're layering up is that it also makes it easy to adjust those layers throughout the day. So it doesn't matter what kind of pack you use. I use this little tiny one. But one thing I like about it is that if I have a bunch of layers on, it makes it really easy to take something off on the go when you're out on the trail and just toss it on your pack. So you can kind of monitor that throughout the day. The reason that's important is that if you're hiking and it's really cold outside, you're going to want to make sure that you don't sweat too much. You want to wear the minimum amount of clothing so that you don't start to sweat. The second you start to sweat, it means you probably have too much on, and you might want to drop a layer or two. The reason is, as you start to sweat, you're going to start to chill. So layer up and wear the minimum so you don't sweat too much. Number 2, you have to learn how to cover your face properly if you're going to be out in really cold temperatures. And don't be afraid of sub-zero temps. There are a couple things that are nice about that. One of my favorites is that if you head out to a park and it's 5 below, and a lot of people might think that that's crazy that you're going to go out hiking in those temperatures. What's nice about that is that nobody else is out there. So, you might have the entire park to yourself. It's awesome. But you have to make sure that you get your face covered properly. It's pretty easy to wear. You wear snow pants, or you layer up and you wear whatever jacket you have. But you really have to get your face properly covered. So I'm a big fan of balaclavas. Once again, it's merino wool. And this one here is from -33. I got this. This one was about, I think, 30 bucks, something like that. So these are great. You can wear them standalone if it's not too cold. But if it's super cold, they're fantastic. You're going to get some really nice coverage. So let's say I'm going to go hiking and it's 10 below. I'll wear this one here. I might also put a hat on top of that. I'm going to hike this up really good so I just have my eyes peeking out of here. And if it's like 10 below or something like that, I'm going to use this extra head sock I have here that I've had forever and ever. I don't know what the brand is, head socks. But this is also windproof. This is really thick. So, if it's 10 below, which gets really cold where we're at in this part of the country, I can throw this on. We can go for a long hike, and we're going to be fine. I'm not going to get any kind of frostbite or anything around the skin around my eyes, and that's important. So make sure that you cover your head and face properly and invest in a decent balaclava, merino wool one if you can. Number 3, hand warmers are a great thing to bring. If you're going to be out on the trail for the entire day, it's awesome to have a little bit of extra heat. Yes, you want to make sure you have the right amount of clothing on and all that, but it's great to have some hand warmers. You have a couple different options. One of my favorites, mainly because it's reusable, is my favorite thing about it. So Zippo makes a pretty nice little hand warmer that you can fill up. Make sure you keep in the bag because this thing gets crazy hot. And you're going to get about 12 hours out of these. I'm also a big fan of the disposable ones that rip open. I've used those quite a bit as well. I like the Zippo hand warmer a little bit more. The disposable ones, what's really nice about those is if you get the ones that are the adhesive toe ones, are awesome. It's just a little tiny tab about this big. You rip the sticker off the bottom, you stick it on the bottom of your sock before you put your shoe in your boot, and you'll have toasty toes all day long. They're fantastic. So bring a hand warmer. Zippo, like I said, Zippo makes a great one, but there are also a lot of other great options out there. Nice to have on the trail all day. Number 4, I'm a big fan of using the technology on my phone to give me an idea of what the day is going to look like. Specifically radar apps. There are quite a few different companies that make them. I use weather.com's app on my phone. If you go into the radar section on that, there are two different options. You can look at the past radar or you can look at the future radar, and it gives you a really specific idea of what's coming your way. When you click the future, it shows you the time on it, so you know if you have a snowstorm coming in. You know if there's going to be a heavy rain coming in if you're hiking in that time of year. But radars specifically, it's nice to get a forecast. Here's the high, here's the low for the day. But if you're out on the trail, let's say it gets dark at 5 and it's 2 o'clock and you want to make this kind of big push over a ridge and you know you can get back in time, take a look at the radar and look in the air, kind of zoom out and make sure you know exactly what kind of systems are coming into the area. It's awesome to be able to get that kind of information while you're out on the trail. Number 5, be prepared for different trail conditions. So when my wife and I go out hiking, we like to keep, and I don't have them with me, but yak tracks. There are a lot of companies, different companies make these sort of little things that go around your boots and they have spikes on the bottom. We keep yak tracks and we keep our snowshoes in the car pretty much all the time. So when we go out hiking, if you're going to a new park, which we try to do a lot, or a new trail or wherever, you don't know exactly what the trail conditions are going to be like. Maybe you get there and they're not maintained that well and there is 6 or 7 inches of loose snow on the ground. Or maybe you get to a park and you look at the map and you're like, oh, there's this huge area that would be really fun to bust off into. You have your snowshoes for that. Maybe you go to a new park and it's completely hard packed, the trail that you're going to do. You can just throw your yak tracks on to get a bit of extra traction. One of my biggest pet peeves is people that are wearing the snowshoes on the hard packed trail. I get that you want to get into snowshoeing, but you don't always need to do that. So if you have some other type of grip yak tracks or something like that, that you can just toss on your boot and the trail's hard packed, you're going to be much better off and you're going to expend way less energy than you would trying to use a snowshoe on a hard packed trail. So keep those things in the car so you're ready for whatever kind of conditions you're going to have. Number 6, bring water and matches with you. So you want to stay hydrated in the winter. It's really important. The air is so dry in the winter that your skin's going to dry out. You're going to get dehydrated a lot faster when it's 0 out and you're doing some hiking versus, you know, if it's 60 or 70 in the summertime. Your skin's going to dry out faster. Matches, not necessarily. I know that you're not going to get into an emergency situation if you're in a park somewhere doing a hike. But if you're hiking on some state forest land, and check your restrictions in your state, make sure you can do this. If it's state forest land and you can have a fire, it's awesome to do you know, a long hike. Maybe you're out for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 miles or whatever it is. It's fun to take a pit stop, have a sandwich, and be able to throw a little fire together. So always have some matches on you too. Number 7, reward yourself after a hike like this. My favorite, hands down, is to go grab a burger and a beer somewhere. It never tastes better than after you went out and endured a long hike in 0 degrees. So, you know, you took all the time to go out and do that. Make sure you stop somewhere afterwards and have a little bit of fun and reward yourself for taking the time to prepare and brave the elements and beat them.